Hey everyone, Dan here. We are just after market close on Monday, March 8th, and I wanted to take a look at Square today, ticker symbol SQ. My basic hypothesis with Square is that it's trying to keep pace with GameStop, and no, I'm just kidding. Um, Before we get into it, if you enjoyed this video or any of my other videos, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. It really helps a lot. And let's get right to it. So this is the 1 hour chart with Square, and I have an idea of kind of what's happening here, and I think that there's a good opportunity that we are going to blow the lid off this puppy. In other words, we're going to have a big push up in the near future, and I see sort of two possible scenarios for how that plays out. And then of course I'll give the warnings for how things could go poorly. So what I think is going to happen is that this area here that we've set a price target at 269 cents up to 206.84 right there. I think that zone is our green buy zone, in my opinion at least. I am not currently in Square, but this is me sort of like looking for opportunities, looking to potentially take a position. And if you've seen any of my other videos, green is the money box. And so to me, this is the zone where you could potentially start taking a position that's going to be fairly profitable in the short term. And what I'm looking for is for it to push off of this 200 level and then establish support at 206. That's where I'd start to feel, or let's say 207, I'd start to feel really good about it there. Because what then I think it's going to be doing is rising up to fill this gap, and then establishing at 218, rising up to fill this gap, establishing at 222 through 226, and then starting to rise up to fill this gap, pushing its way through the 230s, and then up into the 240s, and ultimately coming to fill this gap, which stretches all the way up to 255. So that's my hypothesis for the time being. That's the case that I would make, that it's a bullish case. And there's just so many gaps to fill here. It's quite incredible. And there's so many levels to get through as well. There will be a lot of friction points once we get to 218. But that, to me, is actually a good sign of like a healthy stock rise. Like there should be a lot of friction points because remember, every time you have these friction points and for example, 218 is acting as resistance, as resistance, as resistance, then we break through it, and then it becomes support, support, support. That support level is now very, very strong. So it'll be nice once you get into the 230s, you'll have sort of like a little cushion of support here, where, if things start to take a dive, you'll see it passing back through all of those support zones and sort of dropping below them and not being able to establish support. And that should indicate to you that like something is amiss and there's potentially some issue with the stock at the moment. So those cushion of support zones are really, really helpful so that you can, as I sort of say, you can sort of see it coming from a mile away when it's going to drop. What I would look out for is I do think there's a possibility that we come down to this previous double bottom and retest it, this 191, 192 level, and it's 192, 193 level, and if we do that, I would look for like a really strong bounce off of that level. If that doesn't happen and it starts waffling around that area for a long time, like going over and under and over and under that price point, and or it gets stuck underneath, I definitely won't be taking a position if that's the case, because to me something is sort of like fundamentally wrong with the stock and the stock price at this point, and it's just not going to make this bullish run that I'm sort of theorizing that it could do based on the chart that I'm showing you. So that's my bullish and bearish cases. I'll be keeping an eye on the green box. Even better entry price if we get it around 193, 194, and it like has a really strong bounce off of that level. Hopefully it doesn't do this sort of like curling back like it did here again, but you just have to keep an eye on it and see. Anyway, good luck if you're in this or if you end up taking a position, and I hope you all had a good start to your trading week, and I'll see you all in the next video.